Happy Sentinels Tuesday, everyone. Once again, it is hot as balls up here, so I hope this doesn't take too long. I have a special treat for you that I might have pulled the gun on a little too quickly because the environment's kind of being worked on still, but whatever. I'm wanting to show this off for a while. It's another Buffyverse showdown. We've got Buffy as our focus hero, we've got Dark Willow as our villain, and we have the Sunnydale Graveyard. And I've not played in that yet, so this will be interesting to see how it works. Alongside them, I've got Shredmaster Argent Adept, created by Rab K, Baccarat, Ace of Sorrows, and I thought I'd bring back the Traveler, so we're using his modern incarnation, which is the one on the hoodie. Dark Willow starts out Vengeful Witch side up, and you'll notice her HP is a star, and it says 65, 95, 120. That's H equals 3, H equals 4, H equals 5. It's a very nice convention that Adelphophage has come up with for all of his villain variants that have variable HP, and he's been spreading it around to other people. I like the way it looks. She puts Warren's villain character card in play, Fugitive Murderer side up. That's Warren there. I don't know who he is. I'm not sure whose nemesis symbol that is, although they share that as well as, I think that's Xander? I don't remember. Warren says at the end of the villain turn, he deals Dark Willow and the hero with the lowest HP 2 projectile damage each, so kinda nasty. Redirect the first instance of damage dealt by Dark Willow each turn to Warren. He's going to soak some damage for us while also dealing some damage to us. When he would be destroyed, he flips instead. Start of the villain turn, if Warren is not in play, she flips. At the end of the villain turn, she deals Warren 4 infernal damage, so that'll actually be 5. Reduce damage dealt to Dark Willow by hero targets by 1. So she actually doesn't start with anything in play, and she's mostly focused on taking Warren out. I don't know what he did, but I'm sure he deserved it. Let's begin. We start with Harsh Truth. The player with the most cards in hand discards a one-shot and an ongoing. Play the top card of the villain deck. That's interesting. Who has the least of either? Okay, since they all have the same amount of cards in hand, Baccarat has no ongoings, so we'll discard this Abyssal Solitaire. Play the top card of the villain deck. Drain Life. Dark Willow deals H+1 irreducible infernal damage to the hero target with the highest HP, and regains HP equal to damage dealt this way, so that'll be 5, 6 to Warren, because Nemesis bonus. She's going to take him out in like 2 rounds. End of the villain turn, she hits him for 5, and he hits her for 3, and the lowest, I'm going to say, is the Traveler, because literally everybody but Buffy has 28 HP. Fascinating. Okay, Argent Adept. I'll go ahead and start with Inspiring Supertonic. His power is Death Rattle. The Argent Adept deals himself 3 sonic damage. Activate a Perform and an Accompany. So 3 damage, and then he will Perform and Accompany Inspiring Supertonic. So, who wants to use a power? Buffy will use Focus. Increase damage dealt by Buffy by 1 until the end of your next turn. So that will immediately take effect come her turn, and he heals back 2 of that damage that he dealt to himself. Draw a card. We need to do what we can to build up and hurt Dark Willow a little bit before she flips, you know, in 2 rounds. I'll start with Final Cleave. Buffy deals a target 4 melee damage. The target is 2 or fewer HP remaining. Destroy it. Well, I'm going to hit Dark Willow, so no luck there. But she takes 3, and then she will refresh that focus and draw a card. The Traveler will start with Astral Plane. You may play an additional card during your play phase. First time you draw a card each turn, discard the top card of your deck. When this card enters play, destroy all other playing cards in play. Second card play, Healing Light. Increase all HP recovery by 1. His power is Prepare. Draw a card, and one target regains 1 hit point. So he draws a card, discards the top card of his deck, and he'll heal himself, because Argent Adept's only down 1, then draw a card. Ace in the Hole. I can play a card. Cheap Trick. Discard the top card of your deck. Afterlife Euchre. Reveal cards on top of your deck until you reveal a trick. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Put the trick into play. Well, that's Graveyard Bridge right on top. You shuffle a card from your trash into your deck. If you do, put a card with the same name from your trash into play. Shuffle all copies of that card from your trash into your deck. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't have anything in his deck more than 1 copy. But I can use his innate power twice during this turn. His power is Ace of Sorrows. Play a number of tricks from your hand, or put 2 tricks from your trash into your hand. Okay, so first time I will put 2 tricks into his hand. That's Abyssal Solitaire and Afterlife Euchre. Second power, I will play both of those tricks. Until the start of your next turn, reduce damage dealt to Baccarat by 1. And then Baccarat deals a target 2 toxic damage. Just go ahead and hit Willow for 1 and draw a card. Okay, what lurks in the graveyard? Born Hungry. Unquiet Grave. When this card enters play, reveal cards on the top of the environment deck until a newborn is revealed. Put this card next to that card. Shuffle the remaining revealed cards in the environment deck. So we get Holden Webster. Okay, increase damage dealt by the newborn next to this card by 1. The vampire next to this card is destroyed. Destroy this card. Holden Webster. Increase radiant damage dealt to him by 1. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the second highest HP hero target 3 melee damage. Reveal the top card of that player's deck and put it on top or bottom of that player's deck. That's interesting. Okay, so he is doing 1 extra damage. So that's 4 damage to to, we'll say Baccarat. Top card of his deck is Ace of Saints. Actually going to put that on the bottom because he's got one in hand and having another one isn't going to be terribly useful. Okay, Dark Willow. Not flip just yet. Dark Willow deals each hero 2 psychic damage. Destroy an ongoing or equipment card belonging to each hero. Ouch. So we're going to redirect the first damage that she deals. That'll be the damage to Argent Adept. So she hits Warren for 3. And then 2 to everyone else. 1 to Baccarat. We'll destroy Astral Plane and I guess the Inspiring Supertonic. Sucks, but oh well. And the villain turn, she takes Warren out. He's gone. He is no more. So he flips Apocalyptic Ritual, Effigy of Prosperexa. When this card is flipped to the side, move it by a hero target. At the start of the villain turn, any player may move this card by one of their hero targets. Increase all damage dealt to the target by this card by 1. If there is ever no target by this card, Willow's Ritual destroys the world. Game over. So we're going to start by placing that next to Buffy, and I'm actually going to take it and shrink it down a little bit. It's taking up more than its fair share of space, if you ask me. And so increase damage dealt to Buffy by 1. She can take it, she's a big girl. But that means we don't take any damage, and she's not ready to flip yet. Well, that's been exciting. Arcane Cadence. We will play Syncopated Onslaught. Himself for 3, +1 to Baccarat and Buffy. I guess he'll do 1 sonic damage to the vampire. Draw a card. Alright, I'm going to play Familiar Ground. We'll go ahead and do Final Cleave again. So she's dealing 5 damage this time, reduced to 4. We'll keep up the focus and draw a card. Devastation by Light. Destroy an ongoing or environment card. I'll just go ahead and get rid of that newborn, because that will drop the other card as well. Traveler deals a target 2 radiant damage. That'll be 1 to her. And then he draws a card. He'll heal Baccarat for 2 and draw a card. Or that 1 damage reduction did not go amiss. I'll play that Ace of Saints, so we've got a damage reduction. I'll put 2 tricks from my trash into my hand and draw a card. Sunnydale Graveyard. Ramon, another newborn. Increase radiant damage, yeah. In the environment turn, this card deals the highest HP hero target 4 melee damage. Damn. So that's going to be 5 to Buffy. Ouch. Okay, Dark Willow flips. 2, Suffering's End. Okay. Start of the villain turn, she deals each other target 2 irreducible infernal damage. And that's all she does. So everybody take 2. Damage reduction is no good. Buffy takes 3. And she plays Black Lightning. Dark Willow deals the 2 hero targets the highest HP, 5 infernal damage each. Holy butt. Okay, so it's going to be 4, because now the damage reduction does matter. That's Traveler and Baccarat. Okay, on the upside, she's the only target in her deck, so we can focus fire on her, hopefully take her down. Silver Shadow, Argent Adept will hit her for 1. And play Instrumental Conjuration and summon Shu's Bell, so that he can basically do the same thing he's doing without dealing himself damage. Shuffle and draw. And yeah, I'll keep those +1s in play, hit her for another sonic damage. Let us prepare for war. Reveal cards from the top of Buffy's deck until 2 equipment cards are revealed. Put one of the player into your hand, shuffle the remaining revealed cards into your deck. Equipment card was put in your hand this way, increase damage dealt by her by 1 until the end of your next turn. We shall see. So we're going to go with a wooden stake, and I'm going to put it into play, because she's got a +2 on her right now. Argent Adept is buffing her. She doesn't need to worry about her damage quite so much. And she will go ahead and use its power. It says the first time each turn Buffy deals melee damage to a target, she deals that target 0 radiant damage. This is going to be awesome. Power, Buffy deals a target 2 melee damage. So that's 4 melee damage and 2 radiant damage. Draw a card, and her focus wears off. Armor of Light, reduce damage dealt to the Traveler by 1. A card, he'll heal Baccarat for 2. Draw a card. Alright, Ace of Saints goes away. Don't have enough to going. I think Cheap Trick would be a good idea here. Discard the top card of my deck. It's another Cheap Trick. Go figure. This'll Solitaire. Damage dealt to him by 1. And then I can use his power to play any number of tricks. Let's see. So I'm going to play Graveyard Bridge. I will shuffle a Cheap Trick into my deck. Play a Cheap Trick from my trash, which discards the top card of the deck, and reveals a trick. Underworld Hold'em. Oh jeez, this is not helping. He's going to draw a card. And then I take all the cheap tricks from my trash and shuffle them in my deck. It'd be nice if he'd drawn a trick. But then I can play Afterlife Euchre, and he'll deal a target 3 toxic damage. That'll be below. Draw a card. It's a surprisingly complicated power. Oh look, there's another cheap trick. Fantastic. Okay, Sunnydale Graveyard. Fiendish Warrior. Demon. More than just vampires here. In the environment turn, this card deals the hero target with the second highest HP, 3 melee damage. When this card is destroyed, search the environment deck and trash for Strange Omen and put it into play. If you search the environment deck, shuffle it. Ooh, what could that be? Ramon, he'll hit Baccarat for 3. And then the Fiendish Warrior hits the second highest for 3, the Argent Adept. Buffy will take large hits from things, but she's still the highest. Okay, start of the villain turn, everybody take 2. Takes 3. She plays Agony for Agony, ongoing. Dark Willow is dealt damage, deals each hero target that amount of that type, and destroys this card. Ooh, oh boy. Well, we're going to be dealing some sonic damage on Argent Adept's turn, I think. That's her turn. I think it's time for another Arcane Cadence. play the Counterpoint Bulwark. And we keep those +1s up, especially for Buffy, and then Argent Adept will deal Willow 1 sonic damage, and she'll deal everybody 1 sonic damage, which means 2 to Buffy, 1 to Argent Adept, and then she destroys that ongoing. Helpful, handy, draw a card. Okay, Buffy, Holy Symbol. This one was revealed by Prepare for War, but I had one in my hand, so increase radiant damage dealt by Buffy by 1. The first time each turn she's dealt damage by a target, she deals that target 0 radiant damage. This is going to be fun. Alright, so Wooden Stake, it'll be 3 melee and 1 radiant damage to Willow. Draw a card. Okay, with Buffy being lower, Traveler is going to take on the +1 damage taken, because his -1 damage taken is permanent, so he's just taking 1, except for the Irreducible, that will still count. I'll play Been There, Came Back. First time the Traveler is dealt 3 or more damage each turn, he regains 2 hit points. He will draw a card and heal himself for 2. And draw a card. Cheap trick, this has been fun. Ooh, an Abyssal Solitaire, that's good. Graveyard Bridge, cripes. Well, what do I have in here? Abyssal Solitaire, I guess. Alright, so, shuffle 1 into the deck, play 1 is damage reduction, shuffle that into the deck. I will put Afterlife Euchre and, I guess, Underworld Hold'em into his hand, and draw a card. Graveyard. Stuck in the Ground, Unquiet Grave. When this card enters play, reveal the cards on the top of the environment deck until the newborn is revealed. Play this next to that card. Increase damage dealt to the newborn next to this card by 1. At the start of the environment turn, destroy this card. Okay, so our new boy here, what's his name? Ford, taking an extra damage. At the end of the villain turn. This card deals the lowest HP hero target 2 melee damage. Whenever hero target deals damage to Ford, that target deals itself 1 psychic damage. Huh. I have to assume that's supposed to be at the end of the environment turn, so we're going to play it like that. Alright, he hits the highest for 4. That is the Traveler. It's the second highest for 3. That's Baccarat, who takes 2. It's the lowest for 2. That is also Baccarat, who takes 1. Okay, take 2. Traveler takes 3. That takes out Ramon. Acceptable. And Ford takes 3. What a silly, silly boy. Drain Life. Dark Willow deals 5 irreducible infernal damage. The hero target with the highest HP and regains HP equal to the damage dealt this way was going to be increased by 1 because of the Traveler. So, 5 to the highest, that's Buffy. 6. That's her turn. Steve Vigor. Choose Bell. Keep those +1s in play, I guess. Although, Baccarat is not dealing a lot of damage. You know what? Put that on Argent Adept. We'll go ahead and do 2 damage to her. Draw a card. Oh, right, and she should have hit Dark Willow for 3 radiant damage. Forgot about that one. Oh, she would have killed Ramon, too. Oh, whatever. Bait and Hook. Ongoing. This card is played, discard the top card of the villain deck. Ah, that's a good one to discard. Start of your turn, you may have Buffy deal a target 4 melee damage. If you do, destroy this card. You better believe I will. Wooden Stake. 3 melee, 1 radiance. Traveler. Healing Touch. One target regains 4 hit points. That'll be Buffy. Draw a card. Draw a card. Draws a total of 3 cards this turn, and oh yeah, he should have healed 3 because he took 3 damage. Okay, in that case, he'll heal Baccarat. Alright, I'm going to play Abyssal Solitaire. I'll use his power to play Afterlife Euchre and do 2 damage. Draw a card. Okay, Stuck on the Ground is destroyed. Ford is no longer taking extra damage, like the silly boy he is. Instead we get Strange Omen. Oh, hey, we don't have to look for it when the demon dies. This card enters play, reveal the top card of the villain deck, then remove the top 3 cards of the villain deck. Reduce damage dealt by hero targets by 1. At the start of the environment turn, destroy this card. I have to assume you replace it. So we reveal the top card, the damage stopper. Actually, I think what we're supposed to do is remove the top 3 cards of the villain deck and shuffle that card into them. So, one of the next 4 cards is Entangling Vines. Reduce damage dealt by hero targets by 1. At the start of the environment turn, destroy this card. Okay. Demon hits the second highest for 3. That'll be Baccarat. Ford hits the lowest for 2. That is also Baccarat. Funny that. Everybody take 2 damage. She hits 0, 1, 2, reduced to 1. Her Traveler heals 2. Baccarat's slowly dying. Oh, hey look, Entangling Vines. The environment deals the hero target the lowest HP, 5 melee damage. Warren is in play, redirect this damage to him. Well, he's not. So that's 5 reduced to 4 dealt to Baccarat, and he cannot deal damage till the start of the villain turn. Okay, Instrumental Conjuration. Akpunku's Drum. I kinda really need to keep those pluses up. So Shoes Bell pluses, and he can deal 1 damage to Dark Willow. Actually, we should try and kill the demons so that Strange Omen doesn't come back. Draw a card. Oh, hey, Swift Strikes. Buffy deals up to 3 targets, 2 melee damage each. So that's 2, 3, 2, and 0, 1 radiant. 2 and 1. That's enough to kill the demon and the vampire. Excellent. I'm basically ignoring her +1 at this point. Stake her for 2 and 1. Draw a card. Portal. Search your deck for a playing card, either put it into play or into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Oh boy, yeah, Heavenly Plane. Here we go. Increase radiant damage by 2, reduce infernal damage by 2. That's going to be great for Buffy. He is going to draw a card and heal Baccarat for 2. A card. I fold. Discard his hand, draw 3 cards, and then I can put 2 tricks from my trash into my hand. Let's do 2 copies of Afterlife Euchre and draw a card. Wears off. Unfortunate. Okay, that goes away, as does our -1. Harmony, another newborn. Game and environment turn. This card deals the second lowest HP hero target 1 melee and 1 sonic damage. Discard the top card of each deck. Interesting. Okay, so second lowest is either Buffy or Argent. I think Buffy will take it. Melee, 1 sonic. So she hits back for 0, 1, 2, 3 radiant damage. Oh, 4, 5 with the Celestial Plane. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then discard the top card of every deck. Okay, everybody take 2. Takes 3 and heals 2. Or actually, he heals 3. So he's basically not taking any damage from her start of turn attack. Just that one, but she hits back for 0, 1, 2, and that destroys Harmony. Fantastic. Oh yeah, 2, 3, 4. Dark Willow plays Dust to Dust. She hits everybody for 2 psychic damage. Destroy an ongoing or equipment belonging to each hero. Bait and Hook, since I forgot to use it. Counterpoint Bulwark. Baccarat's got nothing. Yes, Healing Light, because he's got another one. At this point, I think we might want to focus on healing, even though we don't have the good Healy card in play. Okay, you know what? We'll wait until next round then. Saraband, Shoes Bell, +1 to himself and Buffy, and hit her for 2. Card. Shining Sword. This sounds like a good thing. Power is Buffy deals a target 3 melee damage, and 0 radiant damage. Reduce damage dealt to Buffy by that target by 1 until the start of your next turn. Won't matter too much, but sounds like a good idea. So 4 melee and 0, 1, 2 radiant. I'm sorry, 4 radiant. So 8 damage, because the Traveler is maybe a little broken. Draw a card. Healing Light back out. Draw a card, heal Baccarat. Because, jeez. Okay, Ace in the Hole, I can play a card. Ace of Sinners, we get a +1. I can use his power twice. First use of his power, I'm going to play both Afterlife Euchres to do 3 and 3 toxic damage. And I might as well play Underworld Hold'em so he can draw a card. Yeah, cool. And then I'm going to put both Afterlife Euchres back in his hand and draw a card. Okay, I guess if I had thought about that, then I would have given him the +1, but whatever. Ancient Crypt, when this card enters play, put a relic from the villain trash into play. I don't think she has any of those. If you cannot, the villain target with the highest HP deals each hero target 2 infernal damage, reduced to 0. Shuffle the villain deck. Each hero can use the following powers. Search your deck and trash for a relic, put it into play, destroy this card. Interesting. The Traveler might have relics in his deck, I'm not really sure about that. Okay, everybody take 2. Buffy hits back for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. He takes 3 and heals 3. And we play Black Lightning. Those the 2 hero targets the highest HP, 5 reduced to 3 infernal damage each. Scared through Frost and Flame, but I want to keep up the +1s. Okay, so +1 to Buffy, +1 to Baccarat, and he'll deal 2 damage to her. Draw a card. Familiar Ground. Reduce the first damage dealt to Buffy each turn by X, where X is the number of non-target environment cards in play, so it's an inverse blend into the pack. Power, destroy an environment card and this card. But she's going to use her sword. 3, 4, 5 melee damage. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radiant damage. Draw a card. Healing Touch, that sounds like a wonderful idea. I'm going to heal Baccarat for 4. Draw 3 cards this round, and heal Argent up for 2. Okay, first of all, shuffle 2 copies of Graveyard Bridge into his deck, and keep Ace of Sinners up. Card Toss, deal a target 2 projectile damage, 3 projectile damage. I can play a card. All in. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, Baccarat deals each non-hero target, so -1 infernal damage and 3 radiant damage. Weird. So discard that. So he's doing 3 and 3, except it's 1 and 5, so same difference. 6 damage. And then he'll use his power and play both Afterlife Euchres again, doing 6 damage. No, it's actually 8. She's down to 1. Draw a card. Dracula. Oh, hey. A vampire who is not a newborn. And he's so pretty. Start of the environment turn, the lowest HP hero target deals each other hero target 2 melee damage. At the end of the environment turn, Dracula deals the second highest HP hero target 2 melee damage. When he's destroyed, he gets shuffled into the environment deck. Ooh, interesting. Can't keep a good Dracula down. So he hits the second highest for 2 melee, that is Baccarat. Okay, Willow hits everybody for 2. He heals 3, she hits Buffy for 2, and Buffy hits her back for 4 radiant damage. And that's it. Okay, the Traveler is definitely a little on the cheesy side. I think he needs a bit of a debuff at this point, but Buffy herself is pretty awesome. Like, just being able to deal excess radiant damage, and oh hey, I'm playing in a team of people who can buff my damage, and I can buff my own damage. It's no wonder they call her Buffy. Let's take a look through a couple of decks here. What's left in the graveyard? Dalton, he's a vampire, but not a newborn. Neander's play Search for Ancient Crypt and put into play. Okay, that's the one that gave us the power to look for relics. Increase damage dealt by vampires by 1. Start of the environment turn, play the top card of the villain deck. Wow. Bizarre Hellion, another demon. End of the environment turn, this card deals the hero target with the second lowest HP 2 irreducible infernal damage, reduced melee and projectile damage dealt to this card by 2. Born Cunning, Unquiet Grave, pulls a newborn out, reduces damage dealt to it. Okay, so that's pretty standard. And Zachary Kralik, another non-newborn vampire. In the environment turn, this card deals the highest HP hero target 3 melee damage, then deals himself 1 psychic damage. Whenever he takes damage, increase damage dealt by this card by 1. Oh my gosh. So he slowly kills himself over the course of 4 turns while doing more and more damage to everybody else. Goodness gracious. Dark Willow. Played alive. That's terrifying. Warren is in play, deals himself 6 melee damage. Prevent all further damage he would deal this turn. If not, the hero target with the highest HP deals himself 6 melee damage. Destroy H-2 of their non-character cards in play. Wow. Earth Golem. This card's max HP is twice H. This card enters play, search the villain deck and trash for a copy of Earth Golem and put it into play. So you get them in pairs. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 melee damage. Redirect the next damage dealt by that target to this card. Tracer Fireball. Dark Willow deals twice H fire damage to the hero with the lowest HP. Any player may discard 2 cards. If they do, redirect this damage to that player's hero. Bleak Truth. Player with the most cards in hand discards 2 one-shots. Play the top card of the villain deck. Crippling Will. Heroes cannot play cards. Start of the villain turn, destroy this card. At least it's just a 1-round thing. Cruel Truth. Oh, she's all about the truths here. Player with the most cards in hand discards an ongoing and an equipment. Okay, so you've got one that's 2 one-shots, one that's a 1-shot and an ongoing, and that one's ongoing and equipment. Sorting Teleport. Destroy all environment cards. Each hero deals himself 1 psychic damage. Play the top card of the environment deck, play the top card of the villain deck. That's pretty cool. Strength of the Pit. Increase damage dealt by Dark Willow by 1. As if she needs it. Criminy. This card in its play, she deals each target 0 lightning damage. So she also hits herself. When it leaves play, she deals the hero target with the highest HP H melee damage. Embrace of Darkness, reduce damage dealt to Dark Willow by 1. When it leaves play, she deals each target 2 infernal damage. And Buffy. I didn't use R and R. Draw 2 cards, Buffy regains HP, prevent all damage she would deal until the start of her next turn. Given that one of her powers is increase your damage until the end of your next turn, that's not a bad thing. Enjoining Ritual. I was thinking about playing this, I didn't get around to it. During each other player's turn, they may skip either their play phase or their power phase. Phase was skipped in this way, put the top card of their deck onto this card. Start of your turn, move all cards onto this card to the appropriate trash pile. For each card moved this way, you may immediately either use a power or play a card, then destroy this card. And it's just a ritual, it's not an ongoing, so very few things can actually destroy it. That's a very neat way to get strength from your party members. Alright, rest of her deck. Fight Alone. Increase damage dealt by Buffy by 1 until the end of your turn. Each other hero discards a card. Now you may play a card. Hold the line. The first time each turn Buffy is dealt damage, reduce that damage to 1. Power. Buffy deals a target 2 melee damage. Redirect the next damage dealt by that target to Buffy. When she's got the retaliation damage going, that's a really good power. Vendetta. Play this card by a target. Increase damage dealt by Buffy to that target by 1. Whenever Buffy deals damage to that target, she regains a hit point. Oh, I wish I'd had that. End of your turn, if this card didn't interplay this turn, destroy it. Champion of the People. Reduce damage dealt to Buffy by 2. Whenever a hero target would be dealt damage by a non-hero target, redirect it to Buffy. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. That's awesome, because Therathian Monolith does not come with retaliation damage. Strike this source. I have no idea what that is she's holding up. It looks terrifying. Buffy deals a target 2 melee damage, destroy an ongoing card belonging to that target's deck. Rapid Combo. Buffy deals a target 1 melee damage, then 1 melee damage, then 1 melee damage. That would be really awesome with all of her +1s. Stake Thrower, one of her equipment cards. Buffy deals a target 3 projectile and 0 radiance. Scythe of Destiny. Power. Buffy deals a target 4 melee damage. Power. Each player draws cards until they have 3 or more cards in hand. That's interesting. That's not something you would expect to see on, you know, the weapon that she's using in a card called Final Cleave. She's got some team leadership stuff going on, just not all the time. Yep, that's it. But she's a fun character. Dark Willow is a fairly terrifying villain who can be nerfed by slightly cheesy heroes, but that's fine. You can find all 3 of these decks on Adelphaphage's archives. That's it for this episode. As always, Tabletop Simulator, the Reavers, Sentinels, and Call of Duty DLC, and Adelphaphage's archives are not licensed graded in the game's products. Please support the official release and flip.